Hi, it's Dr. Steve from Misericordia University. In today's online class, let's consider how to infuse more technology tools into your classroom. In today's class, let's consider technology to support instruction, to support student assignments, and to support student reading and writing. Let's begin by considering technology to support the teacher's job to support instruction. A teacher could use video to really enhance their classroom, whether it's video that's being used during class or video that's assigned to students as homework. Many teachers shy away from using video as homework because they wonder, will students watch the video? Well, here's a way that you can help ensure that students will watch the video and will also give them something to focus on as they watch the video. That is, tools such as Edpuzzle and Play Posit. Edpuzzle was the first tool to come out of its sort, and it's a good tool. My favorite tool here is Play Posit. Both of these tools allow a teacher to select a video, and then they can crop the video if they choose. In other words, use only a portion that you desire. You could then record your voice over parts of the video if you choose. And one of the most important things is you can embed quiz questions, and then you can review the results of how the students did on that assessment. There are many sources of instructional video online. Certainly YouTube, Khan Academy, and TED Talks, a lot of us are familiar with. But there are also other good sites that offer other videos as well, such as video lectures, Watch Know Learn, Neo K-12, and PBS Learning Media. Let's take a look at Play Posit for a moment. You can select one of those video sites, select a video, then you can press the Crop Video button, which allows you to determine and specify where does the video start and where does it stop. And then you can press the Add a Question button. Now, if you're using the free version, there are 3 question types that you're given access to right from the beginning, which is multiple choice, free response, and a reflective pause. If you go Pro, then all of those other question types are available to you as well. So basically, you decide at what point do you want the video, do you want the question to display. The video will stop, the question will appear, and the student must respond to the question before going on. So this is a great way to first of all incorporate video into your classes, and second of all, to make sure that students are being guided through learning, specific learning, as they watch the videos. And the Teacher's Corner, this is a great site to help a teacher in preparing some traditional types of activities used in the classroom. For example, easily create crosswords and word scrambles, or choose from a host of other tools to also easily create some great activities to support your class. The Teacher's Corner also provides a whole bunch of other supports for teachers, such as bulletin board ideas and various downloads. It's another great site to check out. If you're inspired to incorporate more technology and more apps into your classroom, how can you find good ones? Here's a very good site. It's called Common Sense Education, and among other things that they provide ratings and reviews of educational apps, games, and websites. I'm going to compare it to TripAdvisor and say it's kind of like the TripAdvisor of educational content apps. Let's take a look at how this works. I have opened up commonsense.org/education. Now notice they offer a lot of different resources here. I'm going to click into EdTech Reviews. I can look at the top picks, or in this case I'm going to go right to EdTech Reviews under Find a Tool. I'm going to start by typing in the subject area. I'm going to say spelling. And then I can refine it by going on the left-hand side. I can say 5th grade, for example. I can select subject, and I can try price, and I can specify all these different types of things as I hone in on the type of app that I want to find. Now, it has found 94 tools in this case. Now, notice how they have this listed. So there's information about the app itself. They'll have information about privacy and platforms. They'll have their own organization rating these tools, and also any teachers who log on and would like to rate these tools as well. Finally, I can click in and I can learn much more about the tool, including screenshots, pros and cons, and other good helpful information, including some reviews. So this is a great way to locate effective apps without having to go and screen them all individually yourself. Using a tool like Symbaloo, either a teacher can create a page of icons that are basically links to different websites and tools and resources that you want to use with your class, or you could ask your students to create a Symbaloo or add to one in which they create links to various tools. Let's see how it looks. Here is my EdTech Symbaloo. So you can see a series of tiles in which I can share with students, and in this case with other teachers. I'm going to click on one of them, and that immediately takes us out to that particular link. In this case, the trading card creator at Read Write Think. So again, you can have your students develop these, or you can develop these for your students. Now let's turn our focus toward technology to support student assignments and assessment. All your students will be familiar with various social media tools. Instead of Facebook, ClassTools.net offers a tool called Fakebook. Fakebook looks very much like Facebook and functions like it, except that it's not a real social media site. It's designed for educational purposes only. Students can create a fake profile, which includes graphics and history and various information here, and then they can start posting to Fakebook for that particular person. So in other words, posting as if they were that person. They can save their work, and then that can be an assignment that students show to you to demonstrate their learning. Similar to Fakebook is another tool offered by ClassTools.net called Twister, and Twister is based on Twitter. So similarly, students can create a fictional account, and they can create status updates, which can then be saved and printed and so on. And think about what you can do with this in your classes. You can have students create tweets based on a fictional character, based on some literary character. It could be based on some historical person. A third tool offered by this same site is an SMS generator. In other words, it's a texting tool. So notice a screenshot here of the tool. It looks like a phone. So a student could simulate texting between two different people. And again, you could choose fictional characters, some character in literature, or some historical figure. If you use any of these tools, you will be prompting students to write, but yet it will be a much more engaging and relevant to the student and interesting writing assignment than historical basic writing assignments that teachers have done for many years. Many students will better be able to understand dates of historical events in social studies or understand developments that led to the Industrial Revolution if they could see them plotted or if they themselves could plot them on a timeline. Here's a timeline tool located at classtools.net that can help us do just that. So here I am at the timeline tool at classtools.net. I'm going to start by typing a title. And I'm going to enter the low end of my timeline, which is going to be 1983. And I'm going to enter the high end of my timeline. And the rest is filled in. I can add an item, for example, the invention of the Apple computer. And having created that node, I can use this tool to drag it on the timeline, which in this case goes back to 1983. Finally, let's consider technology that can help us support students reading and writing in our classrooms. Using technology, teachers are able to support students who are reading at different levels, and this could also help support our English learners as well. Let's take a look at one such tool that can allow students to read the same article but at different reading levels. I have opened Tween Tribune. This is a web tool that's run by the Smithsonian, and they always have current, very much up-to-date and interesting articles for use in schools. Now I'm going to click on the first one dealing with the virtual trip to the International Space Station. Notice these different numbers followed by an L. I'm going to click into the highest one. So we enter the article, and this is 1230L, or Lexile. By Lexile, we're referring to the level of reading of the student. And let's just focus on the first paragraph. Notice the sentences are a little bit longer, like this one, but thanks to the new virtual reality tour, and it's a very lengthy sentence and a complex sentence, and it's using words like mind-boggling. Okay, the same article, let me now click into 660, a lower Lexile score. Let's once again focus on that first paragraph. Notice the sentences are much smaller, easier to comprehend by students. This is a question few people can answer, period. But thanks to a new virtual reality tour, comma. Notice that this sentence is a little bit shorter, and really this was one long sentence at the higher Lexile rate. Notice the word mind-boggling is no longer here. Instead, the word amazing appears. So by using this tool, you can support students at different reading levels. As teachers, it is important for us, and we desire to support students at different reading levels, including our English learners. There are some online tools that can help in this process, one of which is Rewordify, and another one called readworks.org. Let's take a look at Rewordify and see how it can support our students. I have opened up rewordify.com. I'm going to paste some text in this yellow box, and I'm going to click Rewordify. So up above, you can now see highlighted in yellow the words that were changed to make it more easily understandable. So the word playwright instead of, playwriter instead of the word playwright, instead of saying widely regarded as the greatest writer, believed by almost everyone to be. And instead of saying the bard of Avon, here it says the poet. Another thing that you can do at Rewordify is you can paste in the URL of a website. So I've done that here, and this is my email website. And I can do two things here. I can either say, just show me the text, or rewordify the web page and display the web page. So here's the results. So here's my using email, and notice all the words in yellow, things that are made a little bit easier. So instead of the word simultaneously, not happening at the same time. And as I look through, it's not perfect, but it really does a great job. Here, instead of talking about cluttering and so on, here it says filled with messy piles of things. Here where it says Misericordia, it's funny because it took the word miser and it said cheap person. So it's not perfect, but you can see it really did attempt to work on the entire web page. So this can help many students to understand more complex text. forteachers.org has a whole family of tools that can help and support your students and your teaching in general. In particular, to support student writing, here are some of my favorite tools on this site. Persuade Star. This is a tool to help students write persuasive essays. Think Tank. This is a tool to assist students in planning and organizing a paper. And NoteStar, this is a tool to help students organize their notes and their citation to support their writing. The website readwritethink.org contains a number of wonderful applications that can support reading and writing for our students. Here are two such tools. Instead of asking students to just write a report on something, you could ask students to generate trading cards like baseball cards or Pokemon cards that they may be familiar with. They could generate cards that deal with authors, scientists, or even historical figures, or even characters in a story. You could also ask students to develop postcards to describe different either geographical locations or settings in a novel or a story. Given the option, some students would be more motivated to write if they could create a comic strip in which they both wrote and illustrated their work. This tool, called Comic Creator at readwritethink.org, can make it easy for students to do that. Imagine how much more you would enjoy writing today if a teacher had led you to become an author. You can do that for your students at a site called storyjumper.com. At this site, you can inspire your students to write by asking them to actually write a book. And then parents can buy a copy of the book. And the options are from something that's very low cost to an actual hardcover book. To wrap up today's class, select one of the tools that we considered in today's class, a tool that holds potential for you to incorporate into your classes. Check it out, try it, examine it. Then let's hold a brief discussion online to further process this information. Which tool did you select? When might you use this tool, and how could you use this tool in your class? How might it support your students? I hope you enjoyed today's class. I look forward to seeing you at our next class.